All right, tonight I am going to be talking about one of the most controversial and emotional issues in our country since the founding of our country. And this issue is gun control. The right to bear arms for citizens was ingrained in the founding of the United States. This can be seen in the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution written in 1791. The issue of citizens bearing arms in our country has been an issue as long as firearms have been around. However, this issue of gun control laws did not start gaining traction until the National Firearms Act of 1934, which has led to many unconstitutional laws and debates to this day. Tonight, I will demonstrate that gun control is an unconstitutional idea that prevents law-abiding citizens from having the ability to defend themselves properly. Using firearms has been a big part of my life. Growing up, I was taught that firearms were tools and a means for self-defense and never a means for mass destruction. Gun control is a matter that I've studied because it hits close to home. I want to defend my ability to bear arms and be able to teach my kids how to properly bear arms someday. So tonight, quickly, I'm going to go over 3 points about gun control. First, I will discuss how gun control is unlawful according to the Second Amendment. Second, I will discuss how gun murders are over-publicized. And last, I will discuss how armed, law-abiding citizens are able to prevent shootings, as you see in my visual here. As law-abiding citizens, it is our duty not to just bear arms responsibly, but to defend the right we have as American citizens to bear arms when that is threatened. So, point 1. Gun control is unlawful according to the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was written in 1791 and states the following: a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This amendment was written to protect the rights of the individual citizen in bearing arms. This does not mean that a person only has a right to bear arms in a militia, but that a person has the right to bear arms in a lawful way, like self-defense, hunting, and going to war. The first major gun control act was passed in 1934, the National Firearms Act, due to large amounts of violence following the Prohibition. While most of the gun laws that started in the 30s and 60s did try to prevent gang wars and stop minors from purchasing weapons, all of these laws have been an attempt to slowly disarm U.S. citizens, which is unlawful according to the Constitution of the United States. So, with gun control being unlawful, this moves to my next point, that gun murders are over-publicized to citizens. Point 2, murders performed with guns are over-publicized to gain traction on gun control. As we see here in this visual, in the year 2017, there's a staggering amount of murders from 1991 to 2017, but there are also a staggering amount of murders that were done with weapons that were not just firearms. Also in the year 2018, a reporter named Katie Bandish did a news report for Channel 20. This report discussed how more people that year were killed with knives or other weapons rather than just guns. She said, and I quote, "According to the FBI, across the United States in 2018, there were 1,515 deaths by knives or cutting instruments. 443 people were killed with hammers, clubs, or blunt objects. 672 people were killed from fists, feet, or personal weapons, compared to the 297 killed by rifles. The number of people killed by rifles declined from 2017 to 2018. In 2017, 400 people were killed by rifles, and nearly 4 times as many people were stabbed to death than killed with rifles." Quote, "When you have an assault rifle, you can take out an awful lot of people in a very short period of time," says President of Recycled Records Incorporated, Springfield, Gary Kessler. He continues and says, "That's why gun incidents get more publicity. Not everyone has the desire or money to go in and get themselves an assault rifle. Anyone can reach in the drawer and grab a butcher knife. It's a whole lot easier." The news often over-publicized the number of murders done with guns to raise support and traction for gun control and to influence people. And this brings me to my final point. Armed, law-abiding citizens are what makes the difference in stopping mass shootings, not gun control. Point 3, armed, law-abiding citizens are often able to prevent mass murders by safely and responsibly using their firearms. As we see in this visual, in the encounters when there was a mass shooting, when a law-abiding citizen was present with their firearm, they were able to help or stop a situation where there would have been many lives lost. The majority of the time, when an armed citizen was present during a shooting, they were able to stop that shooting and save lives. Law-abiding citizens who are armed and properly trained are what make the difference in stopping mass murders, not gun control. So, to quickly review these points, gun control is unlawful according to the Constitution of the United States. Murders are performed with guns are over-publicized to support gun control because those who support it do not care for the law. Armed law-abiding citizens are what make the difference in preventing mass shootings, not gun control. Gun control is an unconstitutional idea that prevents law-abiding citizens from having the ability to defend themselves. In conclusion, as long as there are guns in the world, people with no respect for the law or human life will use them to murder innocent people. American citizens need to be armed and trained to defend themselves and others and not be brought under gun control.